Fans, get ready for an unexpected turnaround behind the scenes that's driving rivals crazy and leaving the fan base in shock. One of the team's key names, who until recently was seen as a mere role player, now emerges as one of the biggest revelations in the league, while another young talent is starting to attract the attention of market giants, threatening to transform the franchise's future. Internal decisions, rankings no one predicted, and rivals rubbing their eyes prove it. 2024 might be the definitive year for the Eagles to soar even higher. Welcome! Show your support for the Eagles by hitting 100 likes on today's video. Let's start with the surprising performance of Zac Bown, the linebacker who, until last year, was just another name on the New Orleans Saints roster, with little spotlight and almost no expectations. Signed by the Philadelphia Eagles as a free agent, Bound arrived with a modest contract, and quietly, but in 2024, he proved that value and talent are not always aligned with media attention or former opinions. His impact was so overwhelming that he ended the season named to the first-team All-Pro, an honor reserved for the best at the position. The question is, how did a player overlooked for years in New Orleans become the third-best off-ball linebacker in the NFL now? The answer lies in the combination of being signed by a team that knew exactly where to fit him, a change of scenery in his career, and the defensive scheme of Coach Vic Fangio, which seems tailor-made for Bound's talent. From the start of the season, he became a key piece in the Eagles' defense, finally getting the chance to showcase his full potential on the field, having previously been limited to a rotational and restricted role. With impressive stats of 151 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 11 tackles for loss, Bound shows that the $51 million investment was more than justified, surprising NFL analysts and executives. Specifically, one NFC executive noted that Bound didn't get many defensive snaps in New Orleans in 2023, totaling only 300 on the field. However, with the move to Philly, he received almost full trust from the coaching staff, appearing in nearly 90% of defensive plays, which explains part of the leap in production. More than numbers, his 41% run-stop rate is the best among the top linebackers in the league. This data demonstrates how Bound is capable of impacting the game in various ways, raising the defensive level of the Eagles. Given this scenario, there is no exaggeration in saying Zac Bound is the living example of how talent can emerge even when everyone doubts it. The passport to his breakout was exactly freeing himself from the shadow of the past and fitting into a system that takes his multiple abilities into account. This serves as a warning to other players still dreaming of their chance. The NFL market values transformation and results, and Bound is the symbol of this new mentality. It's worth remembering that stats like these only reinforce the confidence the team puts in this defender, who is now not only a fundamental piece, but part of the defensive identity. But Bound is not the only reason for optimism on Philadelphia's defense. Quinyon Mitchell, a cornerback who debuted last season, has already started to make his name among the league's best at his position. Despite having only 1 year of professional experience, the 23-year-old earned his place ranked as the 9th best cornerback in the NFL by ESPN. Impressive numbers for a rookie. What stands out is not just the ranking position, but the quality and consistency Mitchell showed in his first season as a starter. Mitchell demonstrated during the pre-draft process early in 2024 a talent that did not go unnoticed by specialized scouts. Throughout the season, his performance was marked by a rare ability to limit the freedom of opposing receivers. One metric proving this efficiency is the average 1.5 yards allowed after reception, the lowest among all players with at least 30 targets. The comparison with another league star, who allows 1.9 yards, shows that Mitchell is not just promising, but a solid foundation for the Eagles' future. The numbers also impressed by the strategic impact Mitchell brought to the defense. Under Vic Fangio's leadership, the defense tends to close the middle of the field, requiring corners to cover larger spaces. Despite this, Mitchell faced 76 targets in coverage and managed to deflect 12 passes, a 15.8% pass deflection rate, far above average for a rookie at his position. This performance contrasted directly with opponents' approach, who tried to avoid throwing in his direction, a clear acknowledgement of the respect the youngster has generated. NFL experts already see signs that Mitchell transcends mere talent. Executives and coaches comment on his remarkable progress in physical play, especially for managing press coverage, which was considered outside his profile in college football. This transition to a more aggressive and confident approach is combined with patience and intelligence to read plays, making Mitchell a fundamental piece in defensive strategy, especially in playoff games. With the team's expansion and the increasing valuation of cornerbacks in the market, the Eagles face a clear mission to ensure Mitchell's retention before other teams make lucrative offers. The recent signing of rival Sauce Gardner by the New York Jets, with a historic contract worth over $120 million in 4 years, clearly demonstrates that the market for young, explosive talents is heating up. This scenario demands careful renewal and financial planning for the Eagles to keep their core strong. It cannot be ignored that, even in his young season, Mitchell is already part of the franchise's long-term planning. At only 23 years old and with performance that unnerves opponents, he should be seen as a central piece in rebuilding and strengthening the defense for the coming years. This prospect brings hope to a fan base accustomed to ups and downs and can now get excited at the real possibility of seeing the team with one of the NFL's best secondaries. These two players, Bown and Mitchell, symbolize two faces of a Philadelphia Eagles adopting a winning and strategic mindset. The first, a late bloomer who finally exploded; the second, a young prodigy promising a blockbuster payday. Both faced doubts along the way, but responded with talent and determination, placing the Eagles on a clear path toward greater glory. The truth is that 2024 was not just a season, it was a turning point for the franchise. Now, given these two success stories, the question remains: how will Coach Vic Fangio and the team's management sustain this pace, especially under pressure from franchises competing with sizable contracts and great visibility? Balancing finances without losing talents, betting on internal development versus external signings, these are the real challenges for the Eagles. The answer should come in the team's next market moves and strategies to keep young promises motivated and focused. Additionally, the fan base plays a fundamental role in this journey. The passionate reactions and pressure behind the scenes can both boost players and demand maturity and control to manage high expectations. Recent football history is full of examples where the external environment favors player growth, but also cases where pressure leads to negative outcomes. Thus, engagement is not only justified but necessary. In summary, it is clear that Philadelphia is writing a new chapter in its history, where smart bets on underappreciated players pave the way to renew the roster with greater quality and depth. Thus, the present and future of the Eagles look very promising, especially if the coaching staff continues making correct decisions and giving space for these talents to shine. We must closely follow the next chapters of this saga, which promises many emotions. To you, the fan, here is a message and an invitation to reflect. Will the Eagles manage to maintain this rise and turn these promises into concrete facts? Or will we see another typical fluctuation of teams striving for stability? Your opinion is key to fostering this discussion and understanding the team's directions. Tell us in the comments what you expect from this duo and the team in 2025. If you liked this analytical and provocative content, don't forget to like, comment your impressions, and subscribe to the channel to stay in the loop on everything involving the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFL in general. Your engagement strengthens this space and guarantees you won't miss any important updates about your favorite team.